Hi there, it's Scott Matthew from First Choice Safety Training Consultancy, and what I wanted to share with you today was just a little bit of information regarding overloading electrics, and certainly more prominently overloading electrics within your extension lead, which is a common thing. Most businesses, what they do with their electrics, they will get pat testing done, so they will have things like their electrics and stuff checked, but then what they'll then do is overload sockets, and chances are most people are doing this in their home, and the general sort of bad places where there's this bad practice is behind places like TVs. So a TV will be plugged in, DVD player, lamp, whatever you have near to your TV, and then places like white goods, so in your kitchen generally, or your utility rooms, things like your washing machines, tumble dryers, fridge freezers, those sorts of things. That's where we generally find the most overuse of extension leads. Now, most people use extension leads like this one here. They will have various amounts of holes in them. This one's got space for 6 plug holes in there. Now, what most people don't know is they will presume that if it's got 6 plug holes in it, they will presume that they can then put 6 plugs into it safely. Or if it's got 4 plug holes in it, that means that they can put 4 plugs into it safely. What you're actually supposed to do is check on the back of your extension lead, and it will give you a number there. So on most extension leads, it will say 1, 3, and then a capital A. That means it's 13 amps. So that means that as you plug things into this extension lead, you're supposed to do a little bit of a maths calculation and make sure that those things that you put in there do not go over that 13 amps. Because what we can then do is overheat, overcharge, overpower the extension lead and cause a problem and possibly cause fires. So what you're supposed to do is, before you put the plug into there, you're supposed to look on the inside of the plug there, and again that will give you another number with an A behind it. So if I was to go out training and I take my laptop and projector, I know that my laptop sits at 5 amps and my projector sits at 7 amps. So even though I've got 6 plug sockets, plug holes there, I put my laptop into it and I put my projector into it, I know that 7 and 5 make 12, so chances are I'm not going to be able to put anything in there without overpowering that electrical supply. What we often find is people will just put as many things in there as what the holes provide for them. An even worse practice is something that we call daisy chaining. So that is where you haven't got enough holes in your initial extension lead, or you need a further amount of extension lead added onto it to cut the grass or go a further distance, whatever it may be, and you will then go from extension lead into extension lead. So that's what we call daisy chaining. And what you don't get if you do that is we don't get the initial 13 amps of this extension lead and then the further 13 amps of the other extension lead. You are still only working on the safety of the initial 13 amps. So you will not gain any other safety by putting in another extension lead. You're still only working off the safety of the first extension lead. So the reason why we tell you about that is quite often business insurance won't pay out if they find that you're overloading the electrics and that's the thing that caused the fire. And quite often home insurance won't pay out if you're overloading the electrics and they find that that is the thing that caused the fire. Now, if you aren't using the electrical equipment and you've actually got it switched off, it's not drawing any power. So if you had a TV, a DVD player and a lamp into one extension lead, but you're only using the TV and the DVD player, then chances are you're fine. But if you were to switch the lamp on, then chances are you're going to be taking it over. But if you've got the lamp off, it's not actually drawing any power. A common mistake that people make is leaving things on standby. If you leave it on standby, it's still drawing power and it's still looking to power something. And with certain things like mobile phone chargers and stuff, you will often find that electrical goods, the plugs will still try and charge them or still try and give them power, even if you're not using that product at the time. So if you unplug that thing, it is usually still trying to draw power to it. Things like TVs, modern day TVs, quite often they can be still drawing 80% of the power even on standby. Another type of extension lead that we commonly get is these coil type extension leads, where basically you'll have the wire wound onto it. You can have it in this form, or you'll often have it encased in a plastic casing. What we'll always ask you to do is uncoil all the wire. So even if you only need a 2 meter section but it's a 10 meter extension lead, we would still ask you to pull the other 8 meters off of it. The reason for that is as a wire's coiled, it will overheat quicker and causes problems with that. We still ask you to check the ampage. What you'll generally find with these coil extension leads is that they will usually be 10 amps rather than 13 amps, and they will usually have less plug holes in there for you to plug into it, and that is because of that overheating risk and that coil risk that we get with it. What we will do, however, is we will look to, in the description at the bottom of this, we'll look to add a link to a plug overload calculator there, so you can go onto it. It's a click and play calculator. You can drag your toaster, your hair straightener, your lamp in, and it will tell you at which point you're overloading. Get involved with children, because they will probably be overloading in their bedrooms and not know the risk, and you might be surprised when you look behind your TVs and washing machines and tumble dryers and stuff how often these plug sockets are overloaded and extension leads are overloaded. So many thanks for watching our video today. What we'd like you to do is comment, post, like, share it. If there's anyone else that you feel would get benefit from it, feel free to tag them in. And likewise, if there's anything else that you'd want us to cover that may be beneficial to you, please do get in touch. That's Scott from First Choice Safety Trainer Consultancy.